I have the sentiment drying inside that card, so I'm going to color these other donkeys. And I'm going to use the same technique that I used on the first donkey. You'll notice on some of these I got a little bit close to the black outline. We're just going to roll with it. We're going to try to avoid the black outline, but you know, sometimes it happens. It's the beauty of handmade items. There are those little imperfections that make them special. finish decorating this card, you can see that that sentiment hinges nicely in there. By the way, this part of the card is where you can write your personal greeting. And I'm using these dimensionals again. Now remember to think about what part of the donkey is going to actually be in contact with the card, and don't put the dimensionals on a part of the donkey that's not going to be in contact with the card. Okay, so I've peeled off all of the dots on this dimensional. I like to cut the strips out because then I get even more dimensionals. I went ahead and I applied some dimensionals and donkeys to the card off camera. Well, it's technically on camera because I did it with the still camera. So I'm putting more dimensionals on here. Again, these are sticky on both sides, and it'll just give the element that we add to the card a little dimension so that it doesn't just lay flat. Okay, there we go. Here's a sample A2 size envelope that I made. You'll see that that fits in nicely. So now that that's done, I want to put my handmade or hand stamped and my copyright Stampin' Up stamp on the bottom of the card. That way people will know that I used Stampin' Up products for this. And this isn't exactly my favorite logo. I just had it printed. I mean, it's pretty cool, but I had another one printed that's a little bit different. It'll be a little bit bigger and a little bit more clear. If you press too hard on those little stamps, then it'll kind of, I don't know, make like a smeared like that. So don't press too hard, but press enough that you get your impression. Here's an envelope that I whipped up to go with this card, and I always like to put a little decoration on the outside of my envelope that goes along with the card. So I'm not going to color this decoration in like I did the elements of the card. Just going to use the black ink, but I'm thinking a little donkey sitting right there would be kind of cute. So I'm going to put my donkey on my acrylic block. Then I'm going to ink him up. And I'm going to press him there. Okay. And then I'm going to let him dry. I want a little something on the flap. So I haven't decided what I want to put on the flap. I mean, I don't want it to be too big because I don't want it to overflow. So I've got this other donkey, and he's going to go right there on the flap. Ink him up. Make sure I don't have ink anywhere I don't want it. Make sure I have ink in all the places I do want it. And then press it. There you go. Now we have a nice decorated envelope to go with our card. Sometimes I can't quite figure out how these cards fold up, so I like to see them demonstrated. So this is how the card would look if we were sitting on a piece of paper. Okay, I'm kind of going to rotate it around. Okay, and then this is how the card folds up. So flatten the big rectangle. Make sure your sentiment on the inside folds flat, and then fold these up. and then it just sticks right inside your envelope. And then you can address it, put your postage on it. You've got a cute little card and envelope there. Okay, and then when they pull it out of the envelope, there it goes. Fold that down, fold that down. There you go. I'll fold it up from another angle too, so that you can have a look. You could put decorations or sentiments up here too if you wanted to.